Danger!
Step your biracial ass up.
When you see a class of mulattoes beginning to rise, you are now looking at open warfare. You are about to face assault. I'm telling you now, the mulattoes are here, and they're dangerous.
Danger!
The following is going to be about an ignorant man, a fraudulent man. They call us glazers, so I call them gremlins. And one of the most recognizable and consistent traits of a Kendrick Gremlin is the inability to be intellectually honest, or to tell the truth, or to give any kind of concrete evidence that isn't something that depends upon an insinuation which isn't there. One of the most insulting things to one's intelligence is when they pretend to be Drake fans to try to kind of lead you in only as a segue into trashing him. Just looking at the way these pictures are juxtaposed reeks of uncleverness, right? Where they take either pictures or pieces of video from him when he's like 15 and try to contrast with the way that he is now, and somehow because he's, matured and is no longer 15, he is fake. And they don't try to give a justification for it being fake, but rather it's supposed to be intuitive and self-evident from the juxtaposition. This is the kind of standard of evidence that we're talking about here. A standard of evidence they know they would never if it was the other way around. Now let's forget about the fact that nobody needs due process more than black men. But as we see with the Gremlins, is they're willing to throw that away if they can use it to destroy the reputation of a biracial they thought was a little too successful. Because we know if he wasn't successful, this wouldn't be an issue, and if he was dark-skinned, this wouldn't be an issue. As they have had no problem accepting Tory Lanez, who is also Canadian.
Drake is the biggest fraud of our generation. And I don't even like saying that. I mean, I've been a semi-passive Drake fan since 2009. But since this Kendrick beef started, I've been going back and looking at not only Drake the artist, but Drake the person, and things are a lot worse than I could have imagined. I've been going down this rabbit hole for weeks now, and I have found some dark shit. So let's get started.
Man's never been in marquee when it's shut down, eh? Trust me, daddy.
The sad truth I've realized is that Drake is the #1 artist in a culture that he doesn't understand and
now,
has no interest.
Intellectual dishonesty aside, on top of a friendly helping of pure ignorance, he truly believes that he is the one who understands, what's going on and the dynamics, rather than being the one who is ignorant. For example, Toronto is a multicultural city with a minority majority, and Canada has a multicultural policy where you are encouraged to dabble in different culture and different culture expressions, and to participate in the different cultures, right? And so it's a place where code switching becomes pretty convenient because of its what they call a cultural mosaic. It becomes very convenient. And so you learn to adapt, and because Drake he's able to kind of switch codes to different people and different groups, which is a evolved skill set. And even more with biracial people who have a white family and a black family, who don't necessarily speak the same. So they take a virtue and turn it into a vice, that it must be that he's inauthentic rather than just versatile.
Want to talk about it? No. Get out of here. I didn't get my sandwich. I was looking forward to a nice tuna sandwich on a bagel. I clearly said, hey, can you please get me a tuna sandwich?
Oh, I thought you were kidding. Because you don't.
Oh, yeah, because
you don't.
I definitely pull a joke. Joking about a tuna sandwich that I wanted. I'm just a regular comedian over here. Get me a tuna sandwich, Just joking. Remember?
Now, whether he's trying to get this street cred to further his career or because
the
he
only
feels
person who
inadequate
feels
as a man, I don't
incompetent
know.
and
But either
threatened
way,
as a man
it's
is a man who would even think that would even have to be related to street cred at all. right? Somebody who's defining himself as a man by street cred. Because what I see there is a biracial doing what biracials do, which is having to stick their heads out for black people, right, at the risk of getting it chopped off by white people for the interests of black people. And that video was about his father in his father's hometown, who's in the video. I mean, that's almost as bad, if not worse, than the accusations of blackface to Drake taken from a picture where he was protesting against stereotypes that black actors had to be in movies. It's that bad. And this highlights a problem that I want to point out to biracials, is in both cases here, where he's kind of putting himself on the line for black people, it is instead twisted as being some kind of, you know, street clout chasing or some kind of display of racism. Because they don't even want you to have credit for that. Not even for that. Because that would make you look good, and that can't be, right? This is a warning, biracials. This is a warning. I'll be back for part 2 soon.